Riley. Out. Get the fuck out. Boop. Oh, sweet nectar. Sweet nectar of the gods. Bourbon. I poured way too much. Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and More Bourbon. I'm your host, Hunter. Today, we're doing one of the small dogs. God damn it, Riley! Riley, stop! Go lay down! Go lay down! Sit. Sit. Lay down. Lay down. Go lay down. Don't look at me. Don't you look at me. Yeah, big ass floppy ears, dude. Big ass floppy ears. Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and More Bourbon. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're going to do one of the little dogs. You may have seen these bottles on store shelves. They're very colorful, they're very pretty. You may not be familiar with Pinhook Bourbon. God damn it. You threw me off, Riley. Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and More Bourbon. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're going to be doing a Pinhook 10-year Bourbon War, and this is a pick from Hiproof, the Creme Brulee 2025 batch. This is barrel number 3580, 114 proof, 57% alcohol by volume. And Pinhook is a really cool company that you may have seen the bottles of, but you haven't heard of much. It is a project started by three guys, Sean Josephs, Charles Fulford, and Jay Peterson. They had a vision to create something new and fresh in the bourbon industry. And they started out in 2011 by purchasing 20 barrels of what is now MGP bourbon, and which is sourced from Indiana. They sent it to Kentucky for aging and continued going back to Kentucky to taste it every year. And they kind of created this whole series called the Vertical Series. And a lot of their vertical line is all MGP sourced. And they go from 4 years to 16 years, which is now recently announced. They just increased that number. They do rye whiskeys, bourbons, and they have a flagship line that's their own distillate that they actually contract distill at Castle and Key Distillery. And they have a collaboration series, which is kind of fun and crazy. And they do all sorts of stuff there, like single malts and finished stuff, which I haven't really seen any of those in my area yet. So far, I've had a couple of the flagship ones, like an orange wax and I think a green wax. Um, and those are pretty good. Those are the ones that they contract distilled at Castle and Key because they don't have their own space. They're paying them to actually use their equipment and age, and maybe even keep their barrels there for aging and bottling. Um, and then all the good MGP juice in their vertical series, which I'm a huge fan of MGP. And anytime I see a 10-year MGP bottle around $100 or less, I'm all over it. This was, I think, $89.99 from Hiproof, and they only have like $19.99 shipping for my area. I really love the bottle. Cool, like bronzy, antique gold wax. Um, back label is kind of cool with the different shades of black and tan. Each year they have a different like design, but it's still the same horse on each of the vertical series. So this one's Bourbon War, and this is the sixth installment. They started, like I said, from 4 years. This is now going on 10 years. I had a 9 year batch that was really good, and I think the non-store picks are actual blends of the low rye and the high rye MGP mash bill, so 21% and 36% MGP bourbon. This one is a single barrel, so it's not a blend, so it has to be one or the other. This is the low rye, 21%. So this is the only low rye MGP bourbon I have at the time, at this time. And other than that, pin hooking is a thoroughbred racing term, which means buying the horses when they're young and seeing them through to maturity and then racing them. So kind of like pin hooking and what they're doing with the vertical series is kind of in line with their mindset of starting young and seeing it through to every year, seeing how better it gets. And they've steadily increased the price each year to reflect the age too. So it didn't start out like $100 for a 4 year old. So you can still probably find some of the older vertical bourbons and ryes somewhere, and they're usually between that $40 to $70 range for like the 4 to 7 year old ones, and I've heard they're really good. I haven't had any before the 9 year that I had last year, which was so good. I missed it as soon as I ran out of it, and I had to look for the 10 year this year or last year, and fell on this store pick, Creme Brulee, delicious, totally into that. Want to see what that's about. I know I confused some of my friends when I told them about this bottle because they thought of the Penelope Creme Brulee, which is a kind of similar um, bottle that Penelope puts out. That is like a special edition of, I think, their Architect series. Um, but I have not tried that one. Really not the biggest fan of the flagship Penelopes. I really like the Estate series, so you're not going to really see maybe a lot of like Penelope Rio and Havana on this channel. I'm just not the biggest fan of them, and I know a lot of people are, so I'm not going to crap on something that it just isn't for me. So without further ado, I haven't had this in a while. Very excited to go back to this. We're like halfway through this bottle. It's been really killer, and I've brought it to a few shares, and I think everyone seemed to have to like this. Even people that are not normally fans of the low ride 21% MGP mash bill, and woo, off the nose, it's just desserts. It's so sweet and spicy. There's cinnamon and then just like a caramel that just, oh my god, it's just melting on my tongue, and I haven't even drank any yet. I think I'm getting like an orange oil. All right, I gotta try this because I think I can maybe pick out some more flavors and notes for you that I'm not getting on the nose at this time. Dude, there is no heat on that. There's spice, and it's very warming and just hugging the inside of my mouth. Um, oh my god, getting some good oak from that 10 years. This is not reminding me of the other MGPs I have that are on the high rye 36%. This is sweeter and leaning more like caramel, butterscotch, buttercream icing. It's very velvety and silky and got like a decadent like cakiness to it. And then I'm getting like oh man, this is making the fat boy in me so happy. Getting me like those hot um, hot honey buns or hot cinnamon rolls, and maybe the tiniest bit of cherry, which I normally get from the high rye MGPs. Okay, so this is opening up a little bit. I know I just poured this, but even on the nose now, the alcohol's kind of faded away a little bit, and I'm just picking up more flavors. So I can definitely pick a little bit more off of this right now. But yeah, it's brown sugar, and there's something in there like a clove or an allspice. It's kind of yeah, it's kind of like in between all the other flavors. Getting a little bit of cherry cola now. Um, God, this could be my go-to. I wish I had more than just one of these. I've been so happy with Pinhook and the Vertical Series and how cool they've been to me through like Instagram and stuff. Sean Joseph is a really cool guy to talk to, and he's like really thankful too when you do like post or share his stuff. Um, I've shared pictures of this bottle a couple times, and he's been really awesome. Um, I gotta go find the Vertical Rise, and I gotta find this year they're gonna have the 11 year of this, so super stoked about that. All right, we're gonna go one more time. There's there's just so much to this, and we need to rank it. Hey Riley, hey hey deaf asshole, Riley. Okay, this is bordering on almost too sweet, but it is a little drying. It's got some spice and complexity to this, even though this is not a super expensive bottle. Um, for $90, and it's a pick, and it's 10 years old, and it's MGP. I think this is very well rounded, and probably beats a lot of more allocated like unicorns and stuff. Really, really like MGP, and if you don't, I'm very sorry because you can just kind of get those and be done and just not worry about it. I think MGP is great. I think what Pinhook is doing with the Vertical series is great. If you want to check out their flagship series, the green wax rye, the orange wax bourbon, the yellow wax, I think is a 6 year um, barrel strength bourbon. I'm not 100% certain on those. They're great in cocktails. They're perfectly fine and they're totally findable. Really like supporting those guys because they've been so cool and beautiful bottles. They look really good on your shelves, and they give me that like Kentucky Derby vibe that a lot of other bottles don't. And I think we forgot to score this, so I'm gonna give it one more sip, Aruski, and then I promise I'm gonna score it. 7.3. Yes, 7.3. It's got so much going on for it. I feel that's low. We're going to round up 7.4 just because I'm happy and this is great. 7.4. It's almost too sweet, and I want a little more oak and I want a little more cherry to this, and I'm hoping the 11 year gives that to me. I know that this is going to be going on till 16 years, so it's only going to get better and it's only going to get more harder to find. But that's the way it is. Hopefully these catch on, and Pinhook can do a whole lot of other cool stuff like the series. Um, they're pretty much the only people I think that are doing something like this. annual releases. Each year it gets 1 year older, and taste it from the beginning and taste till it gets old. They're only to get more popular and more desirable the older these get. So get them now while you still can. Anything from like 7 to 12 years is such a great area for bourbons. Um, there's so much good stuff that falls in that age range, and then anything above that just gets kind of hard to find. So yeah, I won't be sad if I can't get the 16 years and there's just 10 years all over the place, because these are perfectly fine. 7.4, great score. Pinhook, keep on doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep on tasting when I'm tasting and keep on drinking your stuff when I'm tasting your stuff. So remember, uh, blah, blah, remember, reminder, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Google us, I don't know. Find us wherever. See me in the grocery store, say hi. Thank you again for joining us.